If you're not from the city, why are you getting your booty cleaned here? Was this in Atlanta? I can't remember. What did she say? Because if this was in Atlanta, we got a whole nother red flag going on.
Back up on the move, touchdown in my hometown, got nothing to lose. I am on my own now, I am in control now. I need you to go now, I can fix my own crown. Back up on my move.
Hey y'all, it's The Breeze and you're plugged into The Breeze lifestyle. If this is not your first time here, you already know we locked in, friend. But either way, thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you want to support your girl some more, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to see more of me, then follow me on Instagram and TikTok at TheBreeze Lifestyle 777. So y'all, this is going to be another reaction video. I'm trying out different little content to try to see what y'all like, if y'all fooling with it or not. One of my videos, I did a reaction video on dating in Atlanta is trash, and it seems like I really like that. So here's another one, and let me know what you think in the comments. Help me build what y'all want. This is my channel for y'all, so let me know if you like it or not. But anyway, let's get into it. This is going to be a reaction video of horrible dating experiences online. So dating apps. All these dates turned horrible, and these people met on dating apps. Now, I used to be on them dating apps. I can't remember if I put any story times out about me on dating apps. If I did and I remember, I'll try to link it down, but go look through my story times. But anyway, I will definitely be giving y'all one day, because y'all, I got a couple. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into the first video.
Story time on the worst date ever. I deleted my Hinge account after this. I highly don't recommend. So I met this guy on Hinge, and at first he was pretty cool. We messaged for a few days. And so finally he was like, you know, let's go on a date. Let's go bowling. So I was like, okay, cool. We can go bowling. I'll just meet you there. So he was like, all right. This is when I knew, this is when shit turned left extremely quick, and I should have known this was a red flag. This man literally went on my Instagram from like years ago and took an old picture of me in some dang on heels and a hat and was like, hey, can you wear this to the bowling alley? So he's like, you know, I think this picture is fly. You know, you got on heels, you got on the hat, and I want you to be fly. Like, I think you should wear that. And I'm like, I don't even know where this outfit is. This is years ago. I haven't worn this outfit in forever, and we're going bowling. I want to be chill. I want to wear some sneakers and some jeans or something. Steadily pressing me about this outfit. We going back and forth, and I'm just like, boy, I'm wearing what I want. So anyways, you know, I end up meeting him at the bowling alley, and I see him. I walk up to him, I'm like, hey, what's up? Like, how are you? I'm Ariel. And the first thing he does is he says, you're really short. Straight like that, he looked me up and down. No, hey, no, how you doing? Nice to meet you. He said, you're really short. And then he walked away and he was like, I'm gonna go get some shoes. Instantly, I'm turned off, because I have never in my life had a man tell me that I was short and complain about it. Usually men like it, but instantly I'm like, oh, I'm so turned off. And I know how this is gonna be. So we go get the shoes and we find our lane, and dude has an attitude off jump. He's like, you could have came in here looking fly. Like, I like my girls to look fly, and that's not fly what you got on. So I'm just looking at the dude. I'm not saying nothing. The dude from New York, so he was already pretty, like, aggressive. And so he, like, asking me questions like, where you from? Where you grew up at? Real aggressive. I'm like, bro, what's wrong with this man? Like, kind of acting crazy. And so then he goes on back on a tangent about how short I am. He's like, you real short. Like, you just real short. So finally, I'm like, okay, so what? Like, men love that I'm short. And he's like, yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it at all, actually. And like, I'm throwing the ball or whatever. And he's like, you're not really good at this. Like, you suck. You're not good at bowling at all. And he like snatches the ball from me. So at this point, I'm like low-key scared. So I end the day early. I'm like, okay, it's time for me to go home. Like, I got a long day tomorrow. I got to get up because it was in the middle of the week. And so I get home, and before I get a chance to block him, because that was my intentions, he calls me, and he's like blowing up my phone, and he's asking me to come over. And I'm like, oh yeah, this dude is mentally insane. I blocked him, and I deleted my Hinge, and I never got back on Hinge after that. It scarred me for life. But also, I was like nervous to go on dates, because I was thinking that men was gonna think I was too short. So I didn't go on dates for months after that. Now I'm in a happy relationship, so it doesn't even matter anymore. So yeah, just be careful on Hinge.
Now that was just weird. Like, you agreed to go on a date with me, and all you're doing is criticizing everything that I do. And I got a story time about something similar, not as bad, I won't say, because he wasn't like aggressive, but it's like making me feel real uncomfortable about my appearance. It's like, bro, you agreed to go on a date with me, and I'm not catfishing. You could have looked through my pictures and seen this is what I look like. But for him to go on her Instagram and be like, I want you to wear this, is weird. Like, I can understand a man saying, hey, this is the vibe we're going for, or, you know, but even that, like, I don't know, this is our first date. How you gonna tell me what to wear? And then you're telling me that I'm too short and you don't like that, and snatching a ball from her. Like, y'all don't understand. Like, these men do not understand that some things, like us dating and giving men a chance, can really put us in certain situations that are scary or uncomfortable. And y'all think that we just be acting like dramatic, but no, like a man can really, I don't care what y'all say, men and women are not the same. We are equally valued, but we are not the same. Just like gold and diamonds, yeah, they both have value. I don't know if it's equal, but you're two different materials. Like, men and women are two different types of human beings, and it's like, no, y'all physically, most men physically are going to be able to beat up a woman. And I be thinking about that all the time. Like, if I say something you don't like, or if I make you mad, like, you don't really know me, I don't really know you, who knows? But one thing I hated for her, I'm glad that she's in a good relationship now, but I hated that his comments made her insecure, because it happened to me too. Like, after that date that I went on, and the dude was like, I'm not gonna get into too much, but I didn't want to date either, and I met that dude online. I did not want to date, so I feel her, but I hate that for her. I hate that for us if we feel that way. Like, listen, move on to the next. Like, don't let these men tear you down. Now, if they're giving you real criticism, okay, cool. But you being short, like, bro, and men love short women. Like, he was just weird. And yeah, I would have blocked him too. And the icing on the cake, after the day, you want to reach out to me, and I hate a man who can't say nothing in real life, but then you want to call me or text me about it. Like, well, you're sassy. But anyway, you want me to come over to your house for what? Like, after all of that, what am I really coming over there for? I thought you didn't like my shortness, but you want some of this pom-pom. Yeah. Let's get to the next one.
First date I ever went on, the guy lied about his age. We met on a dating app, and he was a good 10 years older than what his dating profile said. But I didn't find that out until I was already on the date with him. So this guy invites me to a Forbes event. I don't think much of it because he's a music executive. I imagine they go to Forbes events all the time. Now, I ain't never been to a Forbes event before. So I meet him at this hotel, which the Forbes event is supposed to be at. It's not a Forbes event. Salsa lessons. That's not what I want to do on a first date. I don't even like dancing in front of people unless I'm like 3 shots in. I don't know if this was like a part of his grand plan or not, because he seemed pretty confused by it too. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. We just talked for a while, and boy could he talk. He was a talker, child. I know his whole life story. He works in music. I know that he discovered this famous band that I don't really give a shit about. And he told me about how he's writing a movie. It's just a lot. You want to get to know somebody, but damn, ask me a question or two. After a while, I'm just kind of over it. I'm like, I am hungry. I need to eat. It just so happens my favorite restaurant is like right up the street. It's called Sugarfish. I basically just tell him, I'm about to go to this restaurant. Here's where I went wrong. I invited him. I was like, you can come. We're in the Uber to the restaurant. Have you ever had that moment when you're hanging out with someone and you decide that this will be your last time ever seeing them? This man says the whitest shit to me. He tells me no woman can ever come between him and his dog. His dog has to sleep in the bed with him every night. You don't like his dog, you don't like him. It was just weird he said that, because like we weren't even talking about dogs. It was just like he felt the urge to like, before we proceed, you need to know this. Mind you, I was never gonna sleep in his bed anyways. What? Like do girls be trying to come between? I don't know. I just want no parts. Like at dinner, he made a point to tell me that like he normally doesn't do this. And I was like, what do you mean by this? Like go out on dates? And he was like, no, take women to restaurants. He had this whole theory about how like, when you take a woman to a restaurant, she's gonna take a picture of her food and she won't take a picture of the guy. And I'm like, do you want women to like take pictures of you along with their food? And it's just weird. I just don't like people with weird philosophies that don't make sense. This man blows up my phone the next day, pretty much talking at me because he never asked me like how I'm doing. He just like rambles about his day. And I'm like, I can't. I basically tell him, hey, I don't think we're compatible. You didn't really ask me any questions about myself. Like, you haven't even asked me how I'm doing. And he's like, all you LA girls are the same. Like, what in the world? He goes on and he's like, and I was gonna try to write you into my movie. And I'm just like, so do you want me to like stick around, pretend to like you because you're writing a movie? Like, all he did was talk about how clouded he is, how much money he has. And I'm like, you're the same guy who's complaining about girls in LA being gold diggers, but all you've showed me is your gold. What am I supposed to be attracted to? Your dog?
One thing about me, like I said, like meeting up with men, it can be a little scary sometimes. I don't want no surprises. I want to do what you said we was gonna do. Like, don't change the plans last minute. Don't let me pull up and it be something other than what we already talked about. I don't like that. So that was a red flag for me too. Like she said, he might have been confused as well, but I don't put it past nobody. The whole dog thing, that was weird. Like, that was weird. I have been around men, two things. I dated a dude. Y'all get a story time about that soon. But I dated a dude who felt like that too. Like, you don't want to post me? And it's like, bro, this is our first date. Why am I posting you? That's why now I don't even pull my camera out. If I want to get content, I book my own trip. I go to my own dinner because these dudes feel like just because they're there, they have to be on your social media. And I don't want to be on your social media either. Like, it's not one-sided, it's double-sided. If we're getting to know each other, like, why do we have to be in each other's pictures? Why do we have to be in each other's videos? I feel like you do you, and I'm going to do me. Like, what's wrong with that? But I also dealt with a dude who, and one of the comments from one of my videos, my reaction videos on Dating Atlanta, this dude was like, you seem like you date a lot. I have. Dating does not mean humping. Dating does not mean relationship. Like, you can date somebody for 2 weeks and be done dating them. Like, I'm 32. Anyway, I do like to get to know a man. Don't get me wrong. I love when they talk, but I like to talk too. So being with a man and you're meeting him for the first time and all he want to do is talk about himself, been there too many times. Like, that's a red flag. Like she said, I'm so glad, because I wouldn't have been able to. I'd have been a little bitch. I'd have just blocked him after the date. But she really told that man, like, we're not compatible, and he really got mad at her because you want to talk about yourself the whole time. You want somebody to just listen to you talk about you instead of you talking to yourself. Like, what am I here for? And y'all men, did she do anything wrong? Tell me in the comments, did she do anything wrong? Because I don't think she did anything wrong. Again, pretty girl, looked like she got her life together. I don't know. This is just me going based off of her TikTok. But what did you want me to do? Stick around so you could put me in a movie? Are you even writing a movie? Like, and it's crazy because the same dude that I was just talking about, he also tried to bribe me with different things. Like, don't try to bribe me now. Nah, nigga, I'm gone. Like, no, I'm cool. But anyway, let's get to the next video.
This experience is single-handedly the reason why I deleted BOK and never looked back. I know y'all been waiting on this one, so keep watching. We got a story time. So it was a lukewarm spring day in April. The sun was shining, the birds were chirping, and I had just returned from getting my COVID-19 vaccination shot. This fella that I matched with on the BOK dating app messaged me that he would be in the city and wanted to grab a bite to eat. And well, if you know me, you know my weakness. I'm always down for a good meal. So I attempted to give him restaurant recommendations because he wasn't familiar with the city, and he said he got it. So I let him do his thing. He said he would come pick me up and he would drive, and while I had second thoughts, the passenger princess and me took over. So he drove. Once I got in the car, I realized he was in a rush. He mentioned we needed to hurry up to get to the restaurant because he had already placed the order and had a scheduled pickup time. I found it odd because he never asked me what I wanted to eat from this hearsay restaurant. However, I'm like, well, maybe he wanted to surprise me. So as I'm being driven to the restaurant, we're having small talk. And the small talk became silent when he mentioned he was fighting cases. And at that moment when those words departed from his lips, I looked up at God and said, please, Father, don't let this be the end. He must have picked up on my silent prayers and knew he fucked up. And he immediately stressed that the cases were related to bad decisions he made when he was younger, which is why he was in the military. So I was put slightly at ease, but still very guarded. And throughout the ride, he also mentioned that he was in a rush because he had an appointment after this. He did not say what appointment, just an appointment. Once we arrived to the restaurant, he quickly jumped out the car and sprinted to the door. I found this odd, but thought maybe it was the military in him and he's used to being on time. Once he left the restaurant, he headed and walked towards the passenger door. And just when I thought he was about to hand me this surprise meal, he opened the door and says, "I'm running late for the appointment and I need to eat before it, so can you drive?" Startled, I looked him in his eyes and proceeded to get out of the car because I've never been put in such situation. So as I got out the car, I immediately realized two things. One, he's a liar. His profile said 6 feet. Why am I looking you face to face as a 5'7" woman? We are the same height. And two, that the food we just rushed to get was not for me. It was just for him. So I was immediately baffled, startled, and infused with rage because I'm only here for the food, and I have no food. He realized how angry I was and offered me a bite. I looked him in his 5'7" eyes and let out the most distasteful no I've ever said in my life. Once we arrived to the appointment, it was my plan to just sit in the car until he was finished. However, he insisted that I come in. And as I headed and walked into the appointment and we entered the building, I realized it just wasn't any appointment. It was a colon cleanse appointment. So the lady that was going to be performing this cleansing of the colon saw me and was startled. And I too was just as startled to see her. And she asked, "Are you all married?" I looked this woman who will be performing the cleansing of the colon deeply into her ass and said with the uttermost sternness, "Absolutely not." As we continued walking further into the establishment, I sat down. She looked at me and says, "Oh, you might not want to sit there because where you're sitting, you'll be able to see right up his gown while I'm performing the procedure." I was caught off guard, yet again. So I quickly got up and moved my seat. And while I'm changing my seating position, he yells from the back, "That's perfectly fine." It indeed is not. I do not want to see you getting shit taken out your ass. So I'm now sitting there in my new seating position in complete and utter disbelief that this is happening to me. So while she begins the procedure, I thought, this is my moment to escape. I pull out my phone to call the nearest Lyft or Uber to come to my rescue. However, I was instantly heartbroken when I realized I had no service in that establishment to call neither a Lyft nor Uber. So I sat there during the procedure, shocked, baffled, and disgusted. So as she got towards the end of cleansing this man's colon, she says the words, "Oh, this is a big one. If I can't get this one out, then you'll have to go to the bathroom to get the rest out." So he then gets up from the table and goes to the bathroom to do his thing. So as he finished and we began heading back to the car, he went on and on about how he felt brand new. I bet you do. Once we get in the car, he asks, "Oh, what did you want to eat? You know I didn't forget about you." My initial response was nothing. But as we continued riding, he asked again. And at this point, my stomach was growling ferociously, and I came to my senses and let him know the place where I wanted to grab food. And during the ride back, he's going on and on about how we're going to go on more dates and how he's spontaneous and asking me what I like to do. So I'm sitting there listening to him, completely flabbergasted at how oblivious and delusional he is if he thinks they're going to be another link. So as I finally get some food and he drops me back off at home, I exited that vehicle quicker than the speed of light. Once I got upstairs, I was moving faster than 3 holes in a Nissan to delete this BLK app. I deleted the profile, the data, and the app. I wanted no existence of me ever being on that platform. So moral of that story, I will never be using any form of online dating apps ever again. If you want to get up with me or meet with me, or we're going to have to do it the old-fashioned way, baby. See me in person.
Yeah, I think this is my favorite one of the batch. The way she told the story was just like, she is a great storyteller. Like, I love that. I gotta look at her other TikToks to see if she got more like that, because that was dope. I like that. But y'all, red flag number 1. She said the passenger princess in her made her do it, but no, you're not picking me up. Number 1, you're not gonna know where I live. Number 2, I'm not going to be stuck with you, as she very much was. First of all, it's a difference between a man working you into his schedule and a man just kind of like, what am I looking for? Like, it's a difference between a man like working you into his schedule and making time for you, and a man that is like trying to act like he's spending time with you, but really you're just tagging along with him through his day. Like, he's really not changing up anything to spend time with you. And I feel like, why would you, like, why? First of all, if you're not from the city, I just thought about this. If you're not from the city, why are you getting your booty cleaned here? Was this in Atlanta? I can't remember. What did she say? Because if this was in Atlanta, we got a whole nother red flag going up. Why you get your booty cleaned? You got something going on tonight that I need to know about. Because what? And the diabolical part of the situation is you grabbed yourself something to eat and did not even think to give me nothing. When you told me the reason I'm here is because you said, let's grab a bite to eat. Now I'm with you while you getting a vacuum sucked poop out your butt. And I didn't even eat. Well, good thing she didn't eat because she probably would have threw all that food up. But after doing all of that, I don't want no food. I don't even want no more. He ruined my appetite.
That turned my stomach. I don't even want no Jello now. After I seen them old ass balls, who gonna want some Jello? Who gonna enjoy Jello after I seen what I seen?
Like, I don't even want it. But I'm glad she got her meal. And I would never. My cousin, who is a thotty box, he's a dude. He was on BLK when he moved to Atlanta. And I told myself, not only do I not want him to see me on there, but if he's on there, this gotta be like Tinder. This gotta be like Tinder. I'm not even messing with it. Like, I don't even want to, no parts. Y'all, no parts. Now, this next video gonna be the last video. It's a little long. I think it's a good story, but it's more than entertainment. Like, it's really, it's really a message to girls. And I think I'm going to stay on to react to this one, like, because it's parts of the story that I just want to say, like, little things. Yeah, this one is crazy, and it could have went a lot worse. So if you young, or no matter how old you are, I feel like you can learn from this story. So let's watch it.
So I'm going to tell you the story about when I woke up at a lake like 10 years ago, and I had no idea how I got there or where I was. So I met this guy on like Tinder or one of those things back then, like Plenty of Fish or something like that, like whatever. And I thought he was really cool. I thought he liked me, you know, all the stuff. So we hung out one time, had a good time, just went out to eat or something, like whatever. The second night we went to go hang out, he's like, hey, my friends are having a house party. Do you want to go? And I'm like, hell yeah, let's go to this house party with a bunch of freaking guys. And I don't know any of them. And I don't even know this guy. Dumb, stupid stuff.
Now, no shade to her because she's telling you, like, she's learned from her mistake, obviously. But that's the dumbest thing that she could have done. But don't get me wrong, I've done dumb stuff too, not judging her whatsoever. But just because you vibe with somebody on that first date and it feels like y'all know each other, y'all don't know each other. So to go to somebody's house, and not to say it like that, but I did watch this video already, and it seemed like she turned up, like, you know, back in my day, not even back in my day, I just came from Jamaica. Anyway, I am the girl that is going to get lit. We going shot for shot. We doing that. Like, so it seemed like she's that kind of girl, like, and she felt like she could hold her own. But you can't do that in every situation. You can't do that in every set, and you can't do that with everybody. So no matter how you are, how much you want to have a good time, you got to think twice about who you're doing this type of stuff with. And obviously, here's why.
Before I really get into this, I just want to say, like, I take full responsibility for putting myself in the situation that I put myself in, and it was definitely a learning experience, and I'm very lucky that I came out of it alive and okay, because many people don't.
And I love her for that. But at the same time, just because you made a dumb decision, we're not going to take the blame off of the person who did crazy stuff to you. So, yeah, she shouldn't have been there. But at the end of the day, the person that did that to her, that's the person that's wrong. She was naive and dumb, stupid, whatever. But at the same time, that's not her fault. Like, people should not be taking advantage of people, period.
So I was like wanting to keep up with the guys, and I was wanting to like take shots and be like the cool girl and whatever. And they were taking shots of all like hard alcohol, like moonshine from like somebody's backyard. So I like was just drinking a lot. And mind you, I am 5'1", and at the time I was probably like 120 pounds. So I was not keeping up with these guys. I don't know. I was just being stupid. So I had made it clear like earlier on in the night or like whatever. I'm like, hey, like I'm not sleeping with you. Like we're not there yet. Like I'm not sleeping with you. And that's like a big part of the story, unfortunately, is that I was like, I'm not sleeping with you. And yeah, so I got that into his head. So a lot of the
She did the right thing. She let this man, before he got intoxicated, she let him know, like, I don't care how you might be feeling later on. You ain't getting none of this Cootie Cat, just letting you know. So you can tell me if you still want me to come, if you want me to leave, like, what you want me to do, because I'm letting you know, like, you're not getting none. But sometimes you be trying to do that to not make things awkward, but they still get awkward because dudes be thinking, like, you're playing or something. I don't know.
information that I found out from somebody else who was actually there, like one of the guys who actually lives at that house, because the last thing I remember is taking a shot of like Jameson or something at the kitchen table, and then I woke up at the lake. So I had to get information from somebody else. So I wake up to this beautiful sunset or sunrise, and I'm in my car, I'm in the passenger seat, and I'm like a little delirious, and I wake up and I look around and I'm at this beautiful lake, beautiful sunrise. No idea where I am or how I got there. Okay? My phone is dying. I don't know where my keys are. When I open up my car door, my car alarm's going off, and I have no idea where I am, and but I knew like I was like there was houses, like I was in a nice neighborhood, and my alarm's going off, and I'm like, oh my god, the cops are gonna be called, and I'm like still drunk and whatever. Now, being young, confused, dumb, like whatever, I didn't think to like I didn't know where my keys were. You might already know at this point where my keys were, but I'm like, I had no idea, and I was just in a panic, and my phone is dying. I am blowing this guy's phone up. I'm like, where are my keys? How did I get here? How could you do this to me? Like, what happened? Like, I'm freaking out, and crickets. Nothing. Doesn't answer anything because he's a fucking coward.
This girl is passed out drunk, and he left her in her car at the lake. What? Like...
So like I said, my phone was on like probably like 5%, and I ended up calling my one friend, and he's like, you need to try to go find the house that you were at. Maybe it's close by. And I'm like, I don't remember. I came here and it was nighttime. I don't remember. But I did remember like a couple like cars that were parked like on the lawn or like whatever. So I'm going and I'm walking, and like I'm pretty sure it's this house. And so I go and I knock on the door. Nobody's answering it, and I look in and I'm like, okay, it's definitely this house, because I had seen my speaker that I had brought was sitting in there. So I opened up the door, it was unlocked, and I'm like, great, I'm just gonna get shot or something. Like I'm walking into somebody's house. These are like ex-Marines and whatever. I'm like, and now I'm gonna go have to like wake them up, and like you just like it was absolutely just terrifying. So I saw 2 bedrooms, and I knew there was 2 guys who lived there. The one guy had like really bad PTSD and like just was really going through it, and the other guy was like younger, he was still in the Marines and stuff, and I'm like, I want to wake up the younger guy, but I didn't know whose room was whose. So I was like, all right, screw it. So I'm still on the phone with my friend, and I go into the room, and I wake up this guy, and I woke him up by his ankles because my friend told me to do that, and I woke him up by his ankles, and I was crying. I'm telling him what's going on and whatever. So he tells me that at some point some lovely ladies showed up to the party, and I guess one of them were into the guy that I went there with, and they were totally like DTF, and therefore I was no longer of value, and I guess my life was no longer of value, apparently. Yeah, so he says that he, like at a point everybody left, and he thought that I was going with them and like gonna go back to like.
So I did what I was supposed to do to let you know, like, you know, this is only our second date. Like, you know, I know we about to go to your friend's house, about to get drunk or whatever, but I'm not trying to do that or whatever. You see, whether you knew I was blacked out, because sometimes, like, I know I have been blacked out once or twice in my life, And it's not that I'm asleep. Like, I'm still moving, I'm still talking, I'm still doing things, but I don't remember any of it. But you obviously can tell when somebody is lit, when they're drunk or whatever. So you see that I'm drunk. I'm at your house. I'm at your friend's house. You know I drove here. You know it's not safe for me to drive. And because you see some other pom pom who's DTF, like she said, my life is not of value anymore. Like, that is crazy. That is crazy.
This guy's house or like whatever. This is just what he told me. I don't know if they had said what they were going to do with me or whatever, but I guess him and these girls and whoever else was there, they drove my car to the lake, left me in the passenger seat, locked the doors, put my keys on top of the car, and just dipped. Why they didn't just like leave me on the couch at these people's house or something, I don't know, but they didn't. So I get in this guy's truck. He drives me back to the lake. We see my keys sitting on top of my car. I didn't think to look there. Again, I'm short. I didn't think to look there. And that's where they were. So I'm like, okay, thanks, I guess. And he's like, yeah, man, like, I'm sorry about my buddy. Like, I didn't know that he was just gonna like leave you at the lake. So, basically, the lesson is, do not overdrink. Do not go to people's houses where you don't have, like, you don't know that you can, like, fully trust somebody if something were to happen to you, if you were to black out or, like, something like that was to happen. And it was, like, a really, really big, like, wake-up call for me. I'm like, you can't just trust anybody. You can't trust that, like, they have good intentions for you as a human being. And also, the biggest lesson I learned was just not to overdrink. Like, I have not blacked out since. That was insane. I am very lucky to be okay. Unfortunately, you know, I don't remember a good bit of the night, so I can't, you know, I don't really know what happened. But from my perspective and how I felt, I was just more like mentally like scarred from it. But it was a good lesson to learn, and I was putting myself in very dangerous situations, so I was very lucky to make it out of there. So don't ever drink. Don't go to house parties with a bunch of dudes. Don't make sure you always have somebody with you that you trust and that you know will get you home safe and cares about the value of your life. Because granted, I was locked in a car. Still, you just never know. Like, you never know what could have happened to me. So be smarter than me. Learn from my lessons. You don't need to outdrink no man. You don't need to show off and be like, I can drink all this alcohol, because it's not that serious. It's not that serious.
Yeah, shout out to her for making this video, because I know people in her comments like calling her stupid and stuff like that. But like, you don't know how young she was when she made this video, or not when she made the video, but you don't know how young she was when she did this and all of that. And it's just like, people do dumb things, and that don't mean that they're stupid. It's just like, we all learn and we grow. But that could have went so bad for her. Like, the dude could have just took it. You know, she can't remember that. Now, obviously, when you wake up, you're going, like, your body's going to tell you, like, if something happened or whatever, for the most part. But that could have been really worse for her. Like, and I was thinking, like, why didn't he just leave her on the couch? Like, you know, like, why did he do all of that? Because, how, like, she's talking about, at least she was locked in the car. Bro, your keys was on top of the roof. Like, anybody that was tall enough could have seen, I don't know what kind of car she had, but they could have seen them cars. You're blacked out in the passenger. They could have got in the driver's side and took off with you in the car. Like, that could have went so bad. But I'm glad that she's alive. I'm glad that she learned the lesson. And I'm glad that she shared that story, because so many girls, like, they need to know that. They need to hear that. And it's a story that I have that I'm really debating on if I want to put it out. Because I literally have not told nobody this story, and it really got weird, and it really could have been worse. But we'll see. But anyway, this is the end of the video. Again, y'all, let me know if y'all like it better when y'all see my whole reaction throughout the video, or when I come after the video to give you a little commentary. And let me know if if you like these videos at all. I like doing them. I like looking at TikTok videos with story times, and I like just sharing them on my page. So let me know if you like this content. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.